Now, the post-meeting briefing of the security cluster happened right after that social development briefing, and they also weighed in on the social grant crisis. Nickolaus Bauer, our reporter there, attended and joins us live from Pretoria right now. Nickolaus, thank you for joining us. We understand the issue of xenophobia dominated this briefing first up. We even heard from President Zuma. Where does this cluster currently stand in their dealing with this ongoing problem?
Well, yes, good afternoon to you. We had a far less eventful press conference from the Justice, Crime Prevention and Security Cluster, but a lot more information forthcoming, at least from the ministers that attended. A very big part of that, indeed, you are correct, xenophobia. Malusi Gigaba, without naming Johannesburg Mayor Herman Mashaba, saying that leaders of various local governments and elsewhere need to be very careful about labelling foreign nationals illegal immigrants or illegals and referring to them as animals in a jungle. We, of course, covered Herman Mashaba's thoughts on immigration and undocumented migrants early on in the week on eNCA. And essentially, Malusi Gigaba saying that there's a holistic approach by government to ensure that foreign nationals that are legally in the country have a right to work and are protected as any other South African citizen. But those that are undocumented migrants, that are in the country illegally, government is duty bound to ensure that they are repatriated to their country of origin. Other things that are coming out of that Justice, Crime Prevention and Security Cluster briefing was State Security Minister David Mhlophe saying that essentially there are foreign forces that are taking advantage of genuine problems in South Africa, such as the grievances that are being raised by the Fees Must Fall movement at South Africa's universities. They're also taking advantage and exploiting the issues of high unemployment and low economic growth to try and cause disruption in South African society and bring about regime change, even referring to the colour revolutions, quote unquote, that happened in the north of Africa. As far as I can make out, those colour revolutions taking place in Europe and elsewhere, but nonetheless creating a picture that essentially the ground is being prepared for regime change by international unsavoury characters and organisations. Maybe the most startling thing to come out of this briefing, though, was the fact that the State Security Minister said that government is looking at the possibility of trying to legislate the internet and control what is being said and what is being disseminated online. Now, we know for a fact that in other countries such as China and elsewhere, this has been attempted, social media and others being controlled by that government. But exactly how and when government wants to do this remains patently unclear myself.
Now, back to our lead story all of this morning. We believe Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula weighed in on the story around this crisis in the Social Development Department in the paying out of social grants come the end of March and the beginning of April. The minister saying that payments of grants in cash is, of course, a security issue, but the minister seeming to be happy that her colleague in the cabinet said and had assured that payments will indeed be made. What more did the minister have to say around this story?
Well, essentially, the Defence Minister Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula saying that there is a security issue, and with absolutely no information being forthcoming from the Social Development Minister Batebile Dlamini as to how grants are going to be paid come the 1st of April. The option of cash and transit vehicles being driven to various points around the country and for cash to be disseminated is still on the table. With that in mind, the Justice, Crime Prevention and Security Cluster saying that they are very well prepared to provide the security and intelligence services that will be needed for ensuring that grant recipients won't be be falling victim to crime, and they will be able to collect their social grants with no problems whatsoever. Also, David Mhlophe, the State Security Minister, underlining the point that albeit that we do have a largely electronic grant payment system in place, there are various parts of the country, very deep rural areas, where cash payments still get made. So it's just a question of trying to ensure that this is going to be safe. But once again, the Defence Minister reiterating claims by Batebile Dlamini that this is maybe an issue that has been hyped up by the media, calling on journalists to be responsible and ensure that we report on this fairly and not create unnecessary hype.
Well, we'll leave it there for now. Our reporter Nickolaus Bauer reporting to us live from Pretoria following a briefing held by Government Security Cluster. More news.